Hi, this is Marcus. I'm going to give you my review of the VW T6 Campervan that we rented for a week in Germany on our route from Bonn, Germany to Madrid, Spain. We're actually going to Madrid. This is our last day, so we had to test it out and see what we liked, what we didn't like. And so I'm going to start with the front. We'll move our way back and I'll talk about the features, what we liked, what we didn't like. The great thing about this model or this type of van is actually the size, because if you're going to cities and you're trying to park kind of stealth camp, then you can fit in small parking spots. So I really like that about this van. We are in February right now, so we didn't use the pop top, but of course in summer, hotter days, you could use the pop top. I'll show you that as well. But here's what the inside looks like. It seats 5. We got a cooler along with it. It kind of has this from Road Surfer. They call it the Beach Hostel, I believe. And it has this feel like it's a couple day trip, a van that you would take on a couple days. Really, that's maximum. So it has the minimal things that you would need for that. So you have the fridge, you have your built-in stove, but you don't have a sink. So let me pop that out for you. It's actually very sleekly, nicely hidden, very sleek. So here's the stove. Pop that out and you can light that. You can put a few things over here, but again, it doesn't have a sink, so that's one of the downsides of this model. Down here, so you can see that what this would look like with all of your stuff as well. There's not a lot of storage space, so that again shows that you wouldn't want to take this for weeks and weeks at a time. But over here you would pull open this cubby thing, you would switch on this gas, and then over here on the left side you would turn on another knob for the gas. So you have to do that every time you want to cook. I'll put that back. While I'm over here, I'll show you there's a jack, 12 volt jack for obviously any 12 volt things, but mainly we've been using that for the fridge. And there's also, when you're hooked up to power, there's a 220 volt socket as well. So that's nice if you're staying at a camp spot. Let me show you the fridge. Keeps things cool very well, gets things down to a nice temperature quickly. Sometimes we had it on, sometimes we had it off, depending on what we had in the cooler. It can store most everything for probably 2 to 3 people for, I don't know, several days at a time. Let me show you the front real quick. One thing that I like about this model is that it has these rails here, and the bench seat moves forward, so you could put more things in the back if you want, or more things up front. And one thing that I would have done differently is I would have put the cooler over to the left side, probably, or maybe turned it this way, face out, because if you need to get things in the back, you always have to step over the cooler. Like, let's say I'm driving and the passenger needs to get back, you always have to step over the cooler. So maybe I would have put it behind my seat, turned it that way, so the passenger could still get to something, snacks while we're driving. The front 2 seats, they swivel, which is nice. Pull this forward and you push, there's a lever down here, you push and it can swivel all the way to face back. But again, the cooler can be in the way, so that's another reason why I would do. There's USB ports all over the place. Regular USB down here, BC up here. I haven't been using the nav system that they have built in. I've been using just my cell phone, my smartphone, so that's convenient. And then I'll go around that way, you can hop in that seat. And then up here you have these, when you want to go to sleep. We found that setting it up for going to sleep doesn't take that much time. Probably the first time it takes a little bit to get used to, but basically all you do is shut all the blinds. Here you have blinds on this side, and they have little grooves in there that you put in, and then you'll do that on both sides. So you have that to give you privacy from the front, and then you have on the sides, you have these little magnetized fabric shades that you can put on the sides, but everything else is tinted. So as long as you have the front covered, and the rest you just slide down the shades. What did I want to show you? Up here you have this system where you can control most everything, and I'll show you the pop top next. Like you can control the heater. There's camping modes. It will show you if you're level or not. It can indicate some things on the battery. You can set an alarm clock. A lot of these things we actually didn't use except the heater and the pop top, just to see how the pop top works. The lights, you can turn on and off the lights from every light in the whole van. You could use them from this location, but one thing I didn't like was when we were going to sleep, in order to turn on the heater, I kind of had to reach over the seats. And when the bed is up and you have your stuff kind of put away here on top of the cooler, it's kind of hard to get to. So maybe more of a centralized, or just split the controls would make more sense if you're spending more time camping. Yeah, that's doable or not. If I were to get my own, I would do something like that. So here's the pop top. You slide this back, and then you go open, and you hold on to this, and it will say, check, make sure you have enough space. So you just hold it down, and it will raise. So if you back up, you can see the whole thing raised from the outside. When we were first renting this, the problem was, well, not a problem, but in the video that we saw, it showed a manual pop-up, which is not a big deal. But when we got it, the guy showed me that it was automatic, so I was like, okay, that's a little bit easier. A great thing about this pop-up is that you don't, when it goes down, I've seen some vans, the fabric on the pop-up sticks out and you have to really pull it back in manually, but this actually has like a wire in it, and it lays down very, very easily. You don't have to pull it in or anything like that. So you can turn on all the lights. So you can see, one thing that I noticed mentioned in another video that was good was that the type of mattress that you get and springs is important, especially for mold. So this has a nice firm, I'm not sure, I don't think it's memory foam, but I mean, in any case, if you wanted to, buy your own or build your own, you could certainly find the mattress that fits your needs. But these springs were nice because it lets air in the mattress. It doesn't build up mold, right? Quite thin. So I'm gonna hop up here to show you that you can fit, 2 adults here. I'm a short guy, so I'm 5'6", 5'7" on a good day. So, my head, a 6-foot person could fit here. And then 2 adults or 3 kids. Over here you have your lights. You have your lights here. And then your 12-volt socket. Obviously, you can open up to get some more air in here. That opens up all the way. You have a screen here. You have a screen here. So, like I said, in February we're not going to use this pop-up, but in the summer it would be a great thing to have, especially if you have more than 2 people. We have 3 kids. We could probably fit everyone in here, so 3 small kids. So you would need to go in warmer months to do that. Overall, I really like this van. It's the cruise control, the van itself, it's new. The cruise control is really great. It drives nice. It sleeps really nice as well. It would be tight probably if you are not using the pop-up top. And if you're not using, let me actually show you real quick. This just pops up like that. And so once you do that, you have tons of space. You can stand up, you can do your cooking, but in the winter months, it would be a little chilly. You could probably do it, for until you go to bed and then put it back down.